Recording in progress.
Get the Renee one.
Yeah, she said make sure you record it, remember?
Yeah, I know.
Let me go into the email. Not to don't oh Jesus.
Congratulations, Raquel. Congratulations.
Thank you. Hopefully we can
So
not
the property was 62. What was it, 62 even?
It was 69.9. We offer 62 per your advisement.
Mhm.
Let me go back. Open
So
this
that's
down.
so that's 21 a piece.
Yes. View all documents. Let's see how.
Unless y'all want to put a fourth in there. I don't know if y'all want to put a fourth in there. It's gonna probably eat up.
I think three should be sufficient. I think we.
Yes,
Whatever Raquel feels best.
Raquel, it's your deal.
Yes, Armando. I like that.
It's your deal, honey.
I love that numbers, man. All right, let me share.
Put 7 people in there.
No,
Yeah.
not share screen.
Oh, God. That's 7 people be 9,000 a piece. Yeah, I mean, it'd be the lower money you have to put in, but it'd be a whole bunch.
Sharing screen. All right. Can you let me make sure I'm doing this right because I'm doing it on my phone. I've not done it on my phone before. Can you see the documents?
Yes, that's a purchase agreement.
Yes, sir.
Where are we buying?
All right.
Oh.
Where are you buying the property?
It's in Memphis.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
now? They're normally going to ask you, are you going to do an insurance? Inspection.
It said, yes, it did say that, Sabor. I read through every stitch of this.
No, not that. Dean and them, they're going to ask you, do you want to do a property inspection? Shoot, I forgot who they property inspection by.
It said
$200.
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Yeah, Odyssey would do a property inspection.
Dan.
Or
for
Dan
$200.
Isles. Dan Isles is also a inspector.
How much he charges?
3 1/4, but
He's
we
more
like his,
detailed. He's a little more detailed.
yeah, we like his invoices better.
Okay.
okay.
And he'll also do repairs if you want him to.
Yeah, send over his information.
Okay. That's awesome.
I don't know Dan. Yeah, have y'all met anybody else deal with him yet?
He's really busy though.
Okay.
He's hard
Okay.
to try to schedule.
Okay, yeah.
So Sabor, so we should go with who Dean suggests.
The Odyssey.
Well,
I mean,
Julius, if you're working with Julius or Monica, they like to schedule it so that they can control it.
Okay.
Yeah, but Odyssey gets in there pretty fast though. We never had really issues. Like normally once you pay the invoice, they're in there the next day or two.
They are.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
That way you don't have to be hung up to see how much you have to pay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
How much you'll know what you're going into as far as repairs. And a lot of times, let me see. A lot of time the biggest ticket item is going to be the roof, but this roof on this property actually looks pretty decent.
What zip code is this in?
3.
I don't know where this property is.
38109.
Oh, okay.
Westwood. That's
Yeah, 38109.
you can get some good buys in Westwood.
Okay, so audit inspection.
Now there is, I did see that there was a fence line right by that property. And it looks like the people behind it. I don't know how recent this property is. Oh, you're not sharing anymore? I share screen. I'm sorry. You know, I like to do my street views when I'm looking at properties and stuff.
Yeah.
So this property sits right here. Can y'all see it? All right. It sits on the corner. But this property right
Oh,
next to
Carrot Cove.
Oh, we know that one.
Yeah,
but look how this house.
I don't
behind
think
it-
that's a hedge fund. That was an individual. He had like 11 properties he was trying to
Right.
sell all at once.
Yeah, it's He's trying to get rid
Yes.
of all of them, it looks like, yeah.
Yes,
that
we
property-
saw him.
Did you go by that property?
We didn't go by, but I know that he had several properties that they were trying to sell all at once. I think, isn't Dean the listing agent?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, it was kind of small. I think it was like almost 800 square feet.
It's a 2-2, right?
Yeah, it's a three and
It
three and
says
one.
3 and
It's a
1.
3-1,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Oh,
thought it was
3-1.
a 3-1.
Yeah, it's a 3-1.
yeah.
Okay,
We bought one about a half mile from there.
okay.
Okay,
So I wanted to
Good.
find out if this shrub, this is from 2019, but hopefully these people clean up this fence line, you
Okay.
know? So, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, the roof looks good.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. Of course, you can still paint the outside. You know, Memphis always with the bars and stuff on the windows. So,
Right.
you know, it's Memphis.
Those can be pretty expensive, I'm told.
Well,
Yes,
it's
the
nice.
security doors, storm doors and windows. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
I can't really see the windows themselves
cute.
behind it, but for the most part, they look kind of new.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, looks nice. I like the brick. Very cute. Mhm.
One of our properties, we had this the border going around there. It was fading out. All he did was actually put new boards around it, and it was nothing but plywood and stuff like that, and just repainted it and add additions to it for the roof access to breathe. He put a ceiling fan up in the attic for us, an attic fan and stuff like that, so it can make sure it was breathing properly. And then, of course, everybody know, I always tell you, if you have a brick property, do not paint the brick property.
Right.
Stain
Right.
the brick property. There's a big difference between staining and painting. Now, since everybody said yes, why do we not paint it?
because it makes it deteriorate.
They don't breathe.
Yeah, it can't breathe. I think it's really rustic, the charm that it has with the brick. I think it's beautiful. I really do. But
Yeah.
I guess it's not healthy, right? For
Yeah,
the air.
the paint doesn't allow your property to breathe, so the brick breaks up faster. So when you
Oh.
stain it, it's breathable. Staining is different from painting. Good job. I'm glad everybody remember that.
Wait, so
Mhm.
stain the brick? Is that
Yeah,
what
so
you're
you can buy. So yeah, you can buy stain. You can put multiple coats of stain on there, but you really want to stain it once or twice. You know what I mean? But don't never buy paint like exterior paint.
Oh,
Yeah, it makes the brick crumble.
So
I have seen the fading of it, of some of them. It's like a fading color, is that what you're talking about? When the paint?
No. It's just the bricks start crumbling from the paint. It's not breathe. The brick can't breathe.
Oh,
Start
okay.
crumbling itself.
It
Um,
deteriorated, yeah.
yeah.
So question on Pear Cove, is it still occupied?
It is a month-to-month tenant is in there.
How much they paying?
I think it was $650. Let me go back.
So you're just under contract right now, right?
She's focusing on.
Yeah, they're just under contract right now. They're still under contract pending everything. Don't be trying to go
Good
back and steal our, don't be going back and trying to get our deal, Greg. Yeah, he gonna stay right here. He said, "You just under contract right now. Let me go get this."
Dr. Boy, I'm on my way over there right now.
Oh, that's right.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Craig, you're cute.
But Dawn, it goes a stain, Dawn. It looks different.
Oh,
so
I
instead
like
of paint.
that. Yeah. It's like
Don
an
Don
antique
and Greg are
color.
boots on the ground.
I like
They
the
got their boots out
stain.
there.
I like
Yeah.
that one. Is that what you're gonna do?
Possibly, if the group wants to.
I
Staining
like
it?
that. I like
Yeah.
the antique looking color.
No. Let's see
It
what we
looks fresh to me.
Well,
I mean,
you
I
know,
like the brick.
I
so
mean,
don't get me
if it's
wrong.
going honestly, if it's going to be a buy and hold property, I would probably do more exterior work, do the aesthetics. But if you're just going to
Right.
fix it up, repair the
More
note,
simple.
you want to keep your costs down as much as possible. Just take care of the interior stuff that comes up on the inspection.
Yeah, the brickle actually it's
Yeah.
nice too.
I think who was it? Who was the property we did? Everything, most of the stuff was on the inside and just one thing on the outside. And they were like, we're gonna take care of the outside. I'm like, no, you only want to take care of the stuff on the inside. You know what I mean? That way it's, and then whatever is on the outside.
They were getting 650.
Now, if
So,
somebody's,
Laura?
if you, yes, ma'am.
So Bor, if Raquel offers that to the tenant, the property, that would be wonderful if the tenant would buy it. Do you think that the tenant may buy it? May want
Oh,
the
yeah,
seller.
that's going to be the hope. So her contingency is going to be the inspection, a buyer's interview. Interview with the current tenant, and she can, hint to them at that time. But you don't want to buy the property and throw it at them because we ran into that problem last time, even though it was easy.
Okay.
But yeah, when she have a buyer interview, she just want to tell them that she's going to buy this property. She want to tell them about her business and say, and that's probably what you want to do on, like we were having the mock calls. I always tell them, we buy properties, but our intent is not to buy properties and have them as rentals. We try to turn our tenants into homeowners and show them the value of being a homeowner. One of the greatest assets and part of the American dream. This is what I tell them is being a homeowner. But not only that, now that you have equity in the property, you stay in that property 2 years and you sell that property, double what you bought it for. Now you get to walk away with money. Previously, you wouldn't be able to get that if you were renting. You walk away or you leave that property. You just leave that property, with the clothes that you came in or the stuff that you came in with. So I just put a little script together. It's unscripted, but a script. And I explained to them, the benefits of home ownership,
Right.
One thing that we're coming across a lot, and I don't know if people in other parts of the country are coming across this, but tenants are always worried that they're going to have to move out. And also tenants are complaining about landlords not taking care of the property. Landlords are complaining that the tenants aren't taking care of the property. So when I hear that from a tenant, I just flip it back to them and say, well, then why are you wanting to rent? If they don't want to buy, I just give it back to them and say, hey, then you can be the boss.
Of how long you stay.
Why
Yeah.
should they be renting when they have all these complaints?
Mhm.
Now, you mentioned about buyer interview. You can do that as a contingency?
Yes, because you're gonna do a rent roll. You want a copy of the rent roll and you want to have an interview.
Well, I know about the rent roll, but I didn't know we could talk to them before we buy.
Yep, you can set up a buyer's interview. If they say you have a tenant in place, you can say, well, I want to talk to the tenant in place.
Perfect. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
And again, I like to have a tenant interview anyways, because as you know, a lot of sellers, you ask for a payment history, they want to send you over a ledger.
Oh,
Okay.
they're
Not the
all
payment
ledgers.
history. Yeah, they're all ledgers. And they never send you over the payment history or proof of payment or clear check or any type of payment. They always want to send you over a ledger. I don't want that. I want to see actual cleared deposits or checks or money orders, whatever. One thing with Memphis is, and I'm going to tell everybody, one thing with Memphis is that a lot of people pay with money orders still. I don't know what it is about this. They haven't caught up on technology. They still old school.
Yeah.
Old school.
Brokers
No
and
bank accounts. Yeah.
no bank accounts. Nobody have bank accounts down there.
Yeah.
Now the problem is if you're going to create a mortgage note in your business, and I hear a lot of people do that. Memphis, these people, you cannot allow them to create money orders in your business name.
Okay.
That money order has to be written out to a person. What happens is Tennessee used to, and I'm pretty sure everybody heard about me. Tennessee used to, I had a big old thing, man, with a store down there because I was cashing money orders every month, but then
What's on the floor, dear?
I was cashing more money orders every month, and then you want to talk, Raquel?
So
Oh.
break.
Sorry, I was trying to put myself on mute.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, cashing money orders every month, and then they came back and said that you cannot cash money orders made out to businesses. So there's a big law down there. Even though I was awarded and they paid me out, they still would not change that rule.
Oh,
So
So what
just-
happened?
I end up filing a lawsuit for racial discrimination, business discrimination, because, you know, just like anything, a money order is just written out like a check. You would go in, endorse it to the business, sign your name and your position in the company, and then they would cash the money order and write it off as payroll, right?
Yeah,
Same thing, if it was a big business check.
Did you get your money?
Yes. Yes. They settled, but you know what I mean? It wasn't a big dollar amount, but I did settle. I did win the lawsuit per se, but they still refused to change their rules.
So is that really an issue we have to concern ourselves with? I mean, obviously, we could always take a money order and deposit to our business account, could we not?
Yes, you can do that,
Okay.
and it takes forever to clear though.
Okay. Oh, does it? Okay. Even though it's already a check that's money is available based on the
Yeah,
type of.
money orders take 14 to 30 days to clear, not like a regular check.
Okay. All
You can
right.
do
Yeah.
that. It can be money that you in dire need or want to use right now. Mhm.
And so what would you
also-
recommend with the note buyer? Will they take those type of notes if we have to sell it to them? You know, are they gonna have an issue with that?
No, not necessarily, but most buyers, I try to set them up under Madison or something, some kind of way they can make a payment stream. But no buyers are going to tell them, hey, you can't use cash at me. Yeah, everybody use cash. You know what I mean? They're going to ask them all types of stuff. So, you know, like, I mean, there's different ways, and it's just people. It's weird. I've never seen so many people that don't have checking accounts. You know,
Yeah,
and-
you know what's
But-
weird is this tenant we have for Brad Crest property. They have a payroll they get. It's so weird, Sabor.
It's
Through their
ADP.
company, it's ADP, but it's called Wisely, and it's an app. So what happens is their check goes into this little holding area. So I'm wondering if we can have them connect that to Madison. I'd have to ask Madison if they accept that, because they don't actually have a bank account. They just have this app thing that their money goes out of. I don't know. It's
Well, a
weird.
lot of times ADP and stuff like that, payrolls, you can set up multiple accounts. So they can actually send money to one, you know, part of their check to, or the first, you know, pay their mortgage. They do that now. You can set up
Okay.
multiple accounts. So
So
Now,
Raquel,
does Madison,
Wisely
Madison
is
take it-
technically a bank account.
Oh, it
It's
is.
just not, it is, it's, yes, it would be kin to, you know, a net spend or something like that. It's not a traditional bank account, but they do have the ability to use it as a regular bank account.
like an ACH can be drowned on that probably?
Yes. mhm.
Oh,
Okay,
good. That's a
okay.
high.
'Cause that's what I was doing when I was working for my company. A part of my check went to Wisely, and then the rest you know, went to Paycheck Parking, because
Mhm.
there were other places that didn't accept the credit card charges. And so that's what I did. So it is actually considered a bank account, it's just not with a traditional bank.
it's a fintech bank.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
I do know
wow.
that Madison won't accept Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. They would have to set up an ACH payment to Madison. I was just saying a note buyer in general, they were going to self-service it. You know what I mean? They're going to say, hey, you can't make up anything. Man, I'm gonna tell you how this dude. So I got this pool of notes right now. Dude, beautiful, beautiful package, y'all. And come get all the way to closing. He never escrowed none of his accounts. All the loans are delinquent in taxes.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, up to it's like $42,000. He was like, well, you know, you can just collect on the payments themselves, and no. And I'm like, man, we're not paying no delinquent taxes and have to pay you 500 some thousand. Like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been a thing.
Oh,
Crazy.
So
Wow.
yeah. So this package right here, he has I think it was like all these loans. So his monthly, he's coming in at 8,300. Total packing, the total outstanding balance was 604, and the loan was going to be purchased at 542.
About a
But-
60,000 profit.
Yeah, but Oh, sorry. So I see you turning your head real quick. Like, I see your head turning. So I'm trying to see how you rotate this thing.
We were all looking to the
Bottom.
side.
Yeah, right, real
Oh.
side. I'm trying to rotate it. Let me see if I can rotate it for you. Oh, there you go.
Hard.
We can adjust.
It was fun watching
whoa,
it. It
upside
was
down
fun.
now.
More.
Let
There
me
you go.
hang upside down.
Too many.
There you
That's
go.
all right,
Upside
it
down
goes
now.
sideways.
Yay.
But yeah, the
There it is.
current
I'm
UPB,
getting dizzy.
We could lean to the
Yeah.
left, we lean to the right.
You
but we don't
current
go upside
UPB
down.
is 604, and the purchase of all these notes is gonna be 542. However, after we get to closing, we will end up having to pay another almost $40,000 on top of that. So he's gonna be getting like 92% of the whole thing, because we have to pay another 40,000 for all the delinquent taxes, and he refused to take the 40,000 out of his deal to pay the delinquent taxes, saying that we need to go after the borrowers. But it's his fault that he didn't escrow. That's why escrowing on your accounts, that I always tell everybody, is going to be your biggest factor on selling your mortgage notes.
Good.
Wow.
So never let them, again, and people don't realize a tax lien is a super lien. I can be the landlord, they can be the tenant. We both can lose that property over to a tax lien.
Right.
So it's very important to make sure, again, it's a learning curve for him. But again, he refuses to budge. He's saying that we have to pay the 40, but we want the notes. I'm like, well, we just cancel the whole deal. I'm not paying no $40,000 on top of no, all the stuff that we have to pay.
He was probably pretty excited until that was found out.
He knew it. He knew it. He was trying to hide it. He knew it. When we finished the due diligence and we went back to him and said, hey, every property tax are back due on these properties. He said, yeah, I never escrowed. I'm like, well,
Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you.
yeah. He was trying to sell us some BS. So,
Yeah,
Let
he
me
knew
ask
that
you a
from the
question
jump.
about sorry.
No, I was
when you
just saying he knew that from the jump.
yeah, he knew that. But go ahead, Tamika.
When you escrow the taxes and you pay it to you're paying it to the
Servicing company.
the servicing company, how often do you do that? Is it one lump sum or do you pay it?
No, escrow is broken down every month. So it's broken down into your monthly payment. So let's see. Anybody got a purchase agreement on hand? I'm trying to see if I have a purchase agreement.
I probably have one on my desktop. You want me to get it? Pull it up?
No. I was trying to see if you have one on there, you can share with screen with us.
I think I do.
I might be able to find one fast.
Hold on a
And
second.
so when you escrow this payment into your monthly payments,
Definitely.
then that is going to go directly to the
Mhm.
town.
Okay.
It goes to your title company. I found one, Dawn. You're
Oh, you
fine.
did? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. This is somebody's, I think so. Oh, this is actually one of somebody's actual current deal. So don't pay attention, but the purchase price is gonna be 138,000 down. It's a 30-year note. It's gonna be 8.8 interest rate, right? And then the interest and the interest
Payment.
and plus additional 107 for taxes, insurance, HOA, and all that stuff. So this is gonna be their total payment. So basically, that's their escrow account. This 107 is gonna be the escrow account. It's gonna take care of the taxes, insurance, and HOA dues.
I forgot, if the servicer receives a partial payment, how do they divide that up?
They were divided up by your percentages that you put in. So you mean if it's a partnership?
No, like on this one, they owe 1119. If they pay 500, then half of it's gonna go to
That's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
that's-
what you said.
Yeah. They'll take out half of the
Of
additional-
everything.
Yeah, half of everything. So
Okay.
you'll get half of your principal and interest, and then the other half of the tax and insurance or escrow.
Got it.
will go to the account. Yes, sir. Now your borrowers, if they make partial payments, like paying every 2 weeks or something like that. But every month, once Madison, they clear out their books. One thing about Madison, they take 4 or 5 days after the month end to clear out their books. So you'll see that in your ledger on your portal once they clear everything out every month, if they make total payments.
Right.
So closing agent, I never put a date here. I know we were talking about that last week. I always put to be determined because you don't know what what the title company is going to be doing or how long the title company is going to be out. And you can end up canceling a whole contract if the title company say, well, I'm gonna take 3 weeks to close. And we order the title insurance, but it's gonna take another 4 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever. You can end up closing. So I don't never put a date here. I always put to be determined. Earnest money. Somebody had a good idea last week. I think it was Armando. I normally collect like 500, but Armando wanted to go up on the earnest money. I think it was like 3,000 or 2,000. He wanted to
1,000. I think you went
Yeah.
1,000, right?
Yeah, final number 1,000, but we started at 2,000 because we weren't sure. We're trying to figure it out, play with it to see, figure.
How
Commitment,
serious they are,
committed.
yeah,
making
a
skin in the
commitment,
game, yeah.
Yeah, so he wanted to basically have skin in the game. So he upped that. Closing costs, of course, the seller has to pay the closing costs for the title search. I think somebody wanted, Mr. Creasy wanted Greg or Dawn or somebody to pay for the title search up front.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? A lot of times you do the seller.
No, on that one, the listing agent took too long for us to set up the inspection.
Mhm.
And we set a 14-day closing. And so they just jumped on it right from day one. But it took like, I don't know, at least 10 or 12 days before we could get in the property. So he wasn't wrong in that situation. We just didn't know how that was going to work. And I think there are some people, some escrow companies won't charge for that, even though they ordered it.
Because he didn't go follow through with it, with the property. We never followed through with that particular purchase.
Brian said he agreed with at least 1,000 down. He don't like the 500.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, honestly, the earnest money is for their benefit more than yours because you're not going to see that money anyways because it's going to be with the title company. But the earnest money is supposed to be for you to stop marketing the property. They're showing they have a serious, they have skin in the game, they have a commitment to this policy. To this property. So that's what it's really for you to stop marketing the property once they put earnest money down. But until they if they don't put no earnest money down, I'm gonna keep marketing my property.
So Sabor, is it okay if I put that on pending now because it is an escrow? It
Yes.
is pending for Bradcrest, but in the event they don't pay the rest and they lose that deposit.
They lose their earnest money. They
Yeah.
do lose their earnest money. Yes.
Okay,
If
okay.
they, for some reason, for financial contingencies, they're not able to put down the rest of the money, it should be in there in the quote that they will lose the earnest money.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And we are still getting responses.
Yeah.
So I'm letting everyone know that it's currently pending in escrow. If they'd like to be placed as a backup offer, to let me know. And I will also add them to my VIP list. So please forward me their contact information. And that list is growing. So we got a lot of leads there, Raquel.
Yeah,
If,
another thing too is Raquel, the property Raquel and them looking at, they're a month to month. So even if they buy the deal and those people come back and say they don't want to buy the property, she can use your list to start marketing it to other.
Yes, Raquel, yes.
Mm.
Yep. Yes,
Close it, get it filled and move on.
get it filled. Yep.
So a lot of times when you're going to be talking to people too, they're going to be saying they want an inspection. That's fine. It's at their cost. But if they start asking for you to pay for inspection, it's in the purchase agreement, number 9 right there. It is as is sell. You're not paying for anything. Do not get them try to get you say, well, I want a fire inspection or termite inspection and all that stuff. This is not a regular deal. If you want a regular deal and do all those type of inspections and all that stuff, it's at your cost. I think Brian had a tenant that was wanting to electrical inspection. She paid for her own electrical inspection. The electrician came back and said there was some missing pieces of grounding. Yes, he had to cover the cost of fixing the grounding, but it was nothing astronomical. It just needed to separate the ground rings.
Okay.
But yeah, just make sure you always remember don't get into the game because sometimes they're gonna try to hustle you. Everybody got to hustle. Either they want you to lower your purchase price or lower the interest rate, or they don't want to pay over this, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? You have to stick to your guns. Again, what Brian does was I like that he does. He refers himself as an agent of the company. He doesn't refer himself as the company. So any gripes or anything they complain about, he said, well, let me talk to the home office or let me get back to you. You know what I mean? Even though they don't realize they're talking to the office. So that way you don't have to, and also the beautiful thing about setting up service is that the people can't call you either with the sob stories every month. You know, me and Rochelle, we have a big heart. They just call us and we like, okay, you don't have this one payment.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, we have a big heart, so we don't have to hear the sob stories or even have to conjure up and tell them no. You know what I mean? Us telling people no, like hurts our soul. So we don't have to deal with that. So
I
make
know.
sure you see
We do have a heart. It's not.
We're just managers.
But this is a business we're running. We've got to
Yeah.
remember that. You're right, Sabor. Yeah.
It's not personal, it's business.
one of the biggest things I really, it's not mandatory, but you know, again, you want to make sure you put this on your purchase agreement about the sexual offender, because again, we're buying properties and we're putting people in neighborhoods, and of course a lot of the neighborhoods and places that we buy, it just happen to be where people have a lot of criminal activity at, right? You want to make sure that you're moving the right people into those communities, and that's why I always put it in. I don't care about, you know, all your other charges and stuff like that, but just if they're on there, you want to, you know, secure yourself, especially if it's going to be, you can still in your state, if this seller finance is considered a subject to, and you're still responsible for that property, or if you do a land contract, you're still responsible for that property, right? So you just want to make sure you cover yourself. So I always tell people to make sure that you have this in your purchase agreement, even though it really don't matter to you, but make sure you have it there to cover yourself. And that way, if they don't do what they're supposed to do and they don't register, and somebody try to sue you or come back and say that you put this person in the community, blah, 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 you have it in your purchase agreement contract.
Okay.
So also, it has, I think Rochelle just asked me about terminating anything that's in this agreement and blah, blah, blah. Once they put that earnest money down, financial contingency, they can't get all the money together, you know, blah, blah, blah. So let me ask you this. The attorney comes back and say, hey, we're going to close on April 1st. April 1st comes and the people say, I don't have the remaining money to put down on April 1st. I can do it 2 weeks or 3 weeks later. Do you legally have the right to cancel that contract?
Yes.
Exactly what this is for. That termination of that, people are you know, rely on the obligations here. So once they get that closing date, that attorney given that closing date, they don't have the rest of that money. You have the legal right to cancel that contract and keep that earnest money and move on to the next person.
Okay.
Hey, Sabor, but reading that, it says earnest money shall be returned to the buyer.
Oh no, this is to my I'm talking about right here, up here in the contingency part, financial contingency part.
Oh, that's.
Sabor, this is Nanette.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you've been winning too lately. It's right here, Brian. Yeah, I heard you've been winning lately, man. Congratulations on all the your go ahead, I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Thank you. I was just gonna say, part of my negotiation when people are running behind or they want to extend the escrow, sometimes I just ask, I give them a little extra time, but past a certain time, they're paying a per diem.
Oh, you're saying they're late on their payment?
No, I'm talking about if they're late on closing.
Oh, you give them a per diem?
I'll give them maybe an extra week past closing, and then after that, I'll say,
I mean, some people, I mean, you have the right to wait as long as possible. Some people say 2-3 weeks. I'm just saying, like, if they wanted to, they can keep that earnest money. They don't have to. You can wait the 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah, I would. If somebody, again, if you meet somebody and you're busting it up and you have a good conversation, you have a good feeling about that person, and you really want them in that property, yeah, you know what I mean, definitely, you can wait the turn.
Yep.
But if they giving you crap from the jump, you asking for W-2s, you asking for, you know, tax statements, and all that stuff like that, and they keep giving you a runaround, and then finally, when they finally get the closing, they still don't have the money now, then yeah, now we have a problem.
You can just kind of tell the first buyers that we had for this Brad Chris, she said she was going to send the 2,000 in, and because we were asking 2,000 at first for the earnest money deposit, and 2 days went by, we never got it, and then she called back again and said, okay, I'm going to send it again. So we kind of knew, right? Remember that one, Greg? We kind of knew that she wasn't really going to put the money in, but she wanted the keys to the property, Sabor. Because she was saying, we want to move in, but what? What are you talking about? Just giving our property away?
I
I go,
think
we
we-
can't do that.
I think we need to pay them for the education that they gave us.
Yeah, right.
That was crazy.
Now, this is what I do now. Honestly, so once they give the closing date and they put their earnest money down and we got a closing date settled, like if I know the person is the feel good shoe and I have the security cameras in the property, I would give them the rights to start moving their stuff in. You know what I mean? Like we did that on one of our last deals. I think it was Raquel. I think it was Raquel and Rochelle that we did one of our deals.
Yeah, Windsor.
Yeah, we started letting them move in early, you know, because we already have the closing date. We're very secure about the guy. We feel good about him. We can go ahead and let him move in. You know what I mean? Again, we have a landlord policy. If something happens to the property while he's in there, you know, before he closes. And so, I mean, it's about how you feel about that person, honestly.
He was
Yeah.
putting windows in, he was paving the driveway, you know.
Yeah.
Remember that, you guys?
He removed the tree. He
Get new
removed the tree.
windows.
He put new windows in. He put a new fence up. He removed the tree, got the driveway repaved. Like he was serious.
Right.
Go ahead and move in.
Yeah,
bro.
that's a blessing.
Oh, like,
Yeah, so he was dead serious about pushing that. And again,
Yeah.
and again, that's another conversation that you have to have with them and be comfortable having. You have to let them know, hey, any upgrades that you do to this property, right? You want to force the appreciation in your property. That way, when you sell, you're going to sell the property more than you put in there. I'm always telling them about a forced appreciation. That's new windows, doors, and all that stuff like that. And as soon as I said that to him about forced appreciation, he went straight to work. You know what I mean? He was like literally. He's like, I don't like this bedroom. It's not big enough for me. I'm gonna cut this wall out and extend this here. I'm like, go ahead, bro. You know what I mean? And you really want them to force their appreciation in their home. So, and that's so beyond just talking to them, getting them comfortable and getting them settled and letting them know that you are real and your business is real and your mission is real as far as seller financing, helping people with home ownership. You have to also educate them about forcing appreciation. You don't want to have somebody just take a house and keep it crap. You want them to upgrade their house, especially if a note buy, if you're going to sell that mortgage note, because your mortgage note investor wants to see forced appreciation. They want to see the house appraised for more than it's actually, they put in work to the property.
Nice. Okay, that's wonderful.
Somebody has any mock questions, like mock call questions? I know Greg do. If you're calling me, asking about my property. Anybody wrote any questions down from last week call? I got time for a couple of them.
Greg's quiet tonight.
I'm ready to
You
get,
can believe that one.
Yeah, he's quiet
He
right
had
now.
a busy week.
Yeah.
That's the key to keep him quiet.
All right, so I'm gonna ask a mock call question.
I'm ready to get beat up. Go ahead.
No.
Beat me.
Okay, you ready? All right, so
Yeah.
you're selling 123 Main Street. I'm not understanding what's the purchase price and how do you get the purchase price and how long are you making that payment?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm a potential buyer.
Oh, okay.
So what's your question again?
You're selling 123 Main Street and you have
Right.
you're having a sales price of 138,000 and an interest rate of 10%. I'm not understanding how long I'm going to be making that payment.
Oh, 30 years.
Well, it's 30 years. I mean,
Is that you?
you want me
You gotta
to do
sell
the
it.
calculation?
Yeah, but it wasn't on your. It wasn't on your. It wasn't on your what you call. It wasn't on your ad. You just said.
Oh, on the ad.
Yeah, your ad said 138,000 for 10%. I didn't know how long it's going to be for.
Okay. Sure. So you're saying we should put that in the ad?
I don't know what you tell. I
No,
don't know what you
You just want to say it was missing in the ad. How are you gonna reply? Look at
Yeah,
that.
you're
Some
missing
more
something
Greg's
in
had a
your
busy
ad.
week. You're catching him at the end of.
You're missing
That's why
something
he's
in your
been so
ad. How
quiet
you gonna
tonight.
reply to that? You're missing something in your ad. How are you going to reply to that, basically?
I can just explain it.
I'm not sure what your question is. I'm just gonna answer their questions.
I'm going to
Uh,
ask.
if
I'm
they-
asking you how
Ask
long
them.
I'm going to be making paying my money for you selling me a property for 138,000 at 10%, but you don't tell me how many years I'm gonna be making that
I
payment.
just
Is
answered
it
them,
5
30,
years, 10 years? Okay, to 30
30
years.
years, and it starts a month after their down payment.
So 138,000 at 10. Hold on, let me get pull up my. So you mean to tell me this is what they're gonna be asking y'all?
Okay.
Hold on here. So you mean they're gonna tell me 38,000? Let's see if my calculator works.
Me
I
too.
can't get his either.
There we go.
$414,000. I do that wrong? Hold on a minute.
No.
138,
When-
10%, 30 years.
So my monthly payment is gonna be roughly $1,200 a month for 30 years. And I mean, you can tell me I'm gonna have to pay you almost $300,000 in interest.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's a scam.
Go ahead, Greg.
Now, how do you reply to that?
Well, you talk to them about owner benefits.
No. Anybody
Not
else?
sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you sit there and explain to them that, you know what, your payments are spread over 30 years. Now, you can save yourself some money if you decide to, one, accelerate some of your payments when you are able to. But if you calculate out and amortize your loan for 30 years, the interest that you will, that is being charged is for financing your loan for that period of time. So our goal is to, one, try to get you in comfortable, and then if we can show you a way, maybe you might be able to improve that so that you end up paying less in the end of at the end of your term.
And then we mentioned something about there's no prepayment penalty as well. Right,
Yeah.
Mona?
So
Yeah,
I
no
would say,
prepayment.
that's what I say. I would say, sir, there's no prepayment penalty. Plus,
Okay.
however, if you ever bought a car or anything else, federal,
Right.
federal law requires that we give you a truth in lending statement, letting you know how much principal and interest that you're gonna pay on all your loans. Most people, all of us on here that financed our loans, especially if we bought a home, we looked at it and we said, oh, dog, you know what I mean? How much you gonna pay in interest? But what
Maybe
really
look at
mattered, but what really mattered to us was how much we're gonna be able to pay monthly. Our monthly costs is what really mattered, right? So you're gonna ask them, what's more important to you, the monthly cost or the interest that you're gonna pay? You know, of course, most people are gonna be worried about the monthly payment.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yes.
I tend to tell them something else. I tend to tell them, you know,
Go ahead.
you don't have to do a 30-year term.
Joyce said, go tell them, go get, well, all right, then go get traditional lending then.
And all those extra fees. All the extra fees in there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Brian. No, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I tell them you don't have to do the 30 years. You can do less if you know if you like to have if you don't mind having a higher monthly payment. You know,
True.
because I tell them that option. I tell them that sometimes I just and then after stating that I'm saying I let them know 30 years gets your monthly payment down to be the lowest possible payment. But yeah, you're welcome to pay 20, 25 or 20 years if you like, as long as you don't mind paying a higher monthly
Payment. Yeah,
payment.
that's true too. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, if you do a 10-year on that dollar amount, it's 1824 a month. You know what I'm saying? So that versus you could have saved almost $600 something a month or take care of any other costs. You know, again, like Rochelle said, there's no prepayment penalty either, so you can make additional payments. And at that time, you're marketing your program. Plus, we teach you how to pay off your debts at accelerated rate with Velocity Banking.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Friday.
Friday.
So there's
I'm
enough.
asking if they're renting currently. Are you renting currently? And if they say yes, I'm like,
No.
okay, well, you're paying someone else's mortgage.
True,
Right.
true.
Yeah, that's right. They really are.
Mhm.
And in this part,
you get no interest in that property. Again, when you leave that property, you walk away with only losing all that money.
close on your back.
That's right. He's used that one, close on your back.
Yeah,
You're not taking it
just
with
think
you.
somebody paying $2,000 a month in rent right now. 12 months later, how much they paid in on that property when they could have put that money towards that same 24K
Yeah.
into their own paying down their debt. You know what I mean, on their own property.
Yes. It's opportunity. They need it. They need it bad, Sabor. They need it bad.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
tax,
they
the tax benefits, all of that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
tax
yeah,
benefits.
not
Another
to
thing
mention
is-
the tax benefit.
Yeah, and the only thing, if you're doing a servicing company too, I'm pretty sure you all know when you have a servicing company, what's going to happen at the end of the year, the servicing company going to send them a
And
1099.
yeah, form to show how much they paid in interest for that year. That's a tax
Right.
benefit for them,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
Right, right.
Yep.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
It's a
you know.
deduction against your income, at tax time. So yeah, it's beneficial
You're
all the way
either paying
around.
your mortgage or you're paying someone else's mortgage.
yeah, that's how you gonna leave it. That's your story. You stick to.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. What's up, bro? So Brian, Rochelle, and Raheem and Raquel, who all wanted to go on in that property with? I know Brian was interested. I think Armando and Rochelle was
Yeah,
interested.
We're interested.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, they want to know, Raquel, you want to spend some more time before we get off the phone, tell them about that property? Or anybody else have any mock questions before I go?
Any more
Anybody else have any other mock questions? Like mock call questions? Anybody else find anything difficult that they heard people say or thought that they should have said or anything like that?
No,
We just hope that the renters had a more open mindset, and I think a lot of it is how we deliver it to them and teach them. We have to teach them. It's that mindset and that trust issue, because I think when you're on the phone with people, you're not in front of them. So it's almost like maybe I have to put my FaceTime on or something and talk to people to be more personal, because I'm not in front of them, Sabor. I'm long distance. But it's like I want to share that feeling that we're here to help renters. We're taking renters and giving them an opportunity to create wealth, generational wealth for them and their family through home ownership. We
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
wonderful program. It's just so tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But we're
yeah, I
trying.
mean,
That's true.
That's the hardest part when you have a market, especially like Memphis, is 85% rental market. So a lot of people down there rent, they don't even have the opportunity or even ever have had a thought of owning a home. So when you're
Right.
trying to have these conversations, and I'm pretty sure if you haven't had that conversation with anybody, that is the hardest conversation in the world, trying to convince them that they can have
Yes, in Memphis it is. You're right.
hardest
It is.
conversation.
Agreed.
and
I think-
St. Louis is no different.
Oh, really?
St. Louis
Yeah.
is no different? Oh, okay.
Yeah, trying to convince people that they can actually have is one of the hardest conversations you're gonna have. That's why I said last week, it's very important that you learn your script and be comfortable with your script, because you want to make them feel comfortable. You want to be able to answer any kind of question they want. You have to let them know this is a real opportunity for them,
Yeah.
And again, if they know in the back of their mind, or you're saying to them in the back of your mind, oh, it's really about me making $1, you're going to push them off. You have to let them
Right.
know. You got to let them know. And I always make videos, it's more than just, getting $1 and maybe an investor. It's also about helping people. So you have to let them know that you sincerely try to help them. With
Tell them
having-
about Vanessa.
One of the biggest things you got to
Come
tell
on,
them is,
Vanessa.
the bank's not knocking on your door to give you this information. And on top of that, you're going to pay $2,000 to $5,000 in cost to do a loan with them. Now, you know what? That's fine if you're comfortable with that. But if I can show you a better way and it makes more sense, why wouldn't you even explore it? I mean, they got to really be educated, because most people have never had this talk. Nobody's talked to them. They didn't talk to me about it in the early days, So,
And then Mondo would love to share the story about Vanessa and her husband. They really want the opportunity to buy a home. So Mondo was telling him I could help you put together a plan, right?
well, yeah,
Tell
no,
them, babe,
well,
tell
you know
them.
what? They want to buy a house, but obviously they're like most Hispanic families, don't like to have bank accounts. They don't put all their money in the account. So they really can't give me a true bank statement to show exactly what money comes in. So it's hard to calculate.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what, if you make a commitment and, you start depositing months for the next 3 months, let me take a look at it. Let me see what kind of monthly income you have coming in. We can then determine where you're at. And if this is beneficial, I don't want to put you in something that you can't afford. It's not beneficial to you, nor is it to me. So I want to make sure that it fits and you guys are comfortable. Even though they say, well, we'll make $10,000 a month. Well, if I can't see that, I can't show that,
Right.
and I need to be sure that I'm putting you in something that you can afford.
That it makes
Yeah.
sense for them, because nobody wants to give something to someone, they're going to lose it.
She,
Right?
they were taking advantage of early on, and she
Yeah.
called me up on one Saturday morning after all this conversation, says, you know what? Okay, I now feel comfortable. And you know what? Now we're not going to be ready to go till May, but we're definitely going to do something. I said, well, that's all it took. It takes just to give them the comfort that you really care. They don't care about how much you know. It's more about how much you care. And if you show them what you're doing is for them, they will see the light. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Mhm.
You want to talk about the fraudulent pay stubs
We did that last
that
week.
the Harrows received?
I
We did
think
that
we
last
said
week.
that one last
We
week.
did
Yeah,
that
we
right?
did that
week,
last
yeah.
week. We went over
Yeah,
that last week.
But
That
you,
was
you,
crazy.
you got to one base, do your
Crazy.
due diligence on everything, and that way you can avoid these pitfalls because they're out there, and hopefully we won't have to experience them because we're getting the education now, and that's really
Yeah,
to
yeah.
keep in mind. It can
Right,
come at any time.
Yeah.
Can relate to that. And Sabor knows because I've been talking to him this week about some potential tenant. I've been asking for the most recent pay stubs and bank statements, and everything keeps being like January, and even I said, like I said, Sabor been working with me, and I told him to, since I worked on it today and he's helping me a little bit, I told him that they could send the pay stubs to him to Damari Funding. That's my finance team. And I think he had to chime in and tell him today he finally saw what I've been talking to him about this week. Like he was like, ma'am, underwriters need more
Yeah.
than your January statement.
She sent me January bank statements. I mean, January paycheck stuff. Okay, where's your February,
going?
March?
Where's it going?
It's almost April. Like you only sent me one paycheck stuff. Like, are you not making any more money? Like, did you lose the job or whatever? You know what I mean? But Brian been going back and forth with this lady submitting stuff, and then even the bank statement that she submitted was back in January where it only had a couple of deposits. It didn't show, like she had no recent deposits. So
So
No,
she
but-
overslept.
No, but it sounds like she's old school. She probably doesn't know how to do it on the internet.
nah, she know how to do it. Brian walked me through
Oh, she does?
everything. Yeah, Brian sent her videos. He actually he made a video for her, a step-by-step walkthrough how to print it. Yeah, she know what to
That's
do.
what we do. Teach them.
Yeah,
Educate.
Why didn't he go over to her house and
yeah,
just
right.
go through her computer?
One more thing before I'm looking at my notes over here. I think it was Greg or somebody asked me earlier this week. Every time somebody asks me a question throughout the week, I write it down so I can remember. I'm old, but he asked me, can an undocumented person buy a property? Yes, you can sell a property in the United States to an undocumented. It's an I-9 employee, whatever, I-9 person. You can sell a property to an undocumented person. No, the United States allows everybody to have the opportunity of home ownership.
Are there extra documents on something like that for foreigners? Like they
No,
do in retail, you have that usual banking form. You don't have to do that though.
no, I never heard of that, anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no law that I know has prohibited anybody. Only thing that I know a law of is foreign investors. They have to sign a form because
That's when
if
they
you're a
hold
foreign
more
investor,
money.
yeah, that's they deal with taxes though, because they have to file, like we have to file taxes in the United States. When a foreign investor, they have to file taxes in their country. You know what I mean? So
Right. But if they're physically here, then okay, got it.
yeah. But no. I mean, just saying somebody here that's undocumented, you are allowed to
Okay.
sell a finance property to them with no legal ramifications for that.
That's a great opportunity because there's not a lot of traditional financing for undocumented.
Exactly. And that's why a lot of people making a killing. They're doing seller financing in Texas. Texas is one of the biggest states that offers seller finance because there's so many undocumented people there.
Oh,
And with
Oh, wow.
rates go up, it's maybe more opportunity for us, because the bank's not slowing down. And if we can just get them in, we're definitely beating the bank.
Now,
Yeah, you think you'd have more undocumented people coming to you asking for being able to buy. You would think we'd have more. But maybe it's the state, Memphis, that doesn't. Texas, like you said, Texas probably has more.
yeah.
And
Now, one thing that I will say, if your undocumented person has not already set up a bank account, you have to tell them they have to do an I-10, the tax identification number. It's the alternate of a social security number, and that I-10 is ITIN, the tax, individual tax information number. I didn't think of it. And identification number. I said information. Identification number. The individual tax identification number, I-10. They would have to do an I-10. That way they can open up bank accounts and stuff like that. And that, because especially if you're going to service it, because Madison will need a bank account in order to do an ACH payment.
So
Is
you're
that a
saying
pro-
they have to apply for an ITIN? You're saying they have to apply for an ITIN?
Yeah, you just go to the just go same way you go to the IRS website and
Like an EIN number,
Yeah, like
similar
instead
to
of getting-
EIN or
instead of applying for an EIN number, you're gonna do a TIN number.
Got it.
They will have to make sure they have that. Sorry. And that's just for unlegal documents. So
You know, let me ask, and just maybe this is a little bit off, but just because I know if somebody has a situation, if you're working here, and as I understood, they had they're reporting they're getting reported taxes on this tax ID, but they don't ever get a refund back. Is that sort of an I-10? I mean, because or does that just sound like somebody else's tax ID they're using to work under to give the employer at that time?
it's under Homeland Security. I'm sorry, pulling up now. I'm not sure how they get paid on taxes, man. Honestly, I don't know if they make them automatically illegal for tax exemption. Let me see here.
ITIN.
Yeah, so they must apply for an ITN number, identification. So it's basically like they can't get a social security number, so they'll get an ITN number. I'm not sure how taxes work like that because I know people that had ITN numbers and got taxes. Shoot, a whole bunch of people from when we lived in South Carolina, they worked for like chemical companies and things like that. They were still get tax money back. I don't know how it works though. I don't know if
So those that come over like on a visa, a working visa? The people?
I don't know if they are, but I mean, that's
No,
why-
I mean, there's different reasons people get over. You got people crossing over from Mexico. You got people that came in on a work visa and their work visa expired, or student visa and their student visa expired. They never went home. There's a whole bunch of illegals. You know.
Oh yeah, for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Right.
whatever, yeah, for whatever reason. But if they don't have bank accounts and things like that, you just they don't have a social security number. That's going to be their workaround for you to set them up to get a bank account and set them up to set up ACH payments with Madison or whoever the servicing company is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just a thought. I just make sure everybody know that.
Thank you.
Good to know.
All right, Raquel, all yours. I'm shutting up. You have your time to tell them about the property. Or so I think it's Rochelle and Brian that you're really speaking to, but you definitely can share with the whole group, and I'll pull that property back up so where everybody can see the deal.
You're gonna pull it up, Sabor?
Yeah, I can pull it up for you. I know you had yours on.
Yeah.
The parrot, this is the Parrot Cove.
This is the one. Go back to-
Edit device.
I don't have your purchase agreement, but I do have the here the property.
I think I have, yeah, I sent the whole thing to you, Sabor.
Yeah, I don't want to show everybody that.
Okay.
I don't want to show everybody that. But it's
I want-
the property itself, though.
I
Yeah,
want to see the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I said I don't want to show everybody your deal. I don't want to show everybody your whole deal. But the property they were asking for 69.9. Raheem called me and told me about it. I told him offer 62. 62 was accepted. So, and this is the deal. So it'd be like 21 a piece to get the deal started. I think at this point now, really what Raquel need is to know who's going to be on the property.
Yes.
I think Dean wanted her to tell her the individual business.
yeah, he kind of like tried to fill in part of it and just have us like sign. I was like, whoa.
You know, we don't do that. We always no. What we do is when you set up when you tell them, hey, I want to put in an offer, right? They're gonna say, what's your cash? How was your contingency and all that stuff like that. You want to put group LLC. That way it can be multiple people because you never know who's gonna be on your deals. So I think Rochelle and them, they all know this, but anytime you put in an offer on your properties, there's gonna be multiple different investors. Just put group, LLC, and that's how they submit the offer.
Oh, wow.
That house looks a lot nicer than 600 a month rent.
It's actually 70. They're getting 670 a month.
And what's your timeline for closing? Is that 45
They want-
days? 30?
They want to close by 13.
By when? April?
They want to close by April 13th.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's
I mean,
good.
they're always gonna say, they always, Dean and them always push for 14-day closing on cash offers.
Right, okay.
But so in order for them to do that though, you say, hey, yes, you want to close in 14 days. These are my contingencies. I need inspection. You can go with Odyssey. Those 3 people, y'all can split that. What is it, 275?
200 somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can split that. I think what Rochelle and them was doing on their last deal, they would take care of the front costs and everybody would just send them pay
Yeah, reimbursed.
reimburse you the money. So I mean, or you can send it together, whatever you want to do on that part right there. Make sure you get your inspection done, follow up with inspection, take care of the small stuff on the inside, nothing on the outside.
Okay.
Just be aware, Rochelle charges 21% interest, so you better. be-
Right, right. So Raquel, what we can do, and I hope they take the house. It would be so nice.
It would be
love
awesome.
I would love to see the dynamics, Sabor, where we actually make a huge difference to the people who live in it. I would love to see that.
No, one thing is that once you buy the property and you have a buyer's interview, at this point in time, this is the only thing I'm going to do for y'all on this deal is let me have that conversation. Y'all do a 3-way call. Listen in. I want y'all to listen to the script.
Oh, I would ask you to do that anyway.
Okay. I want you to listen to the script and how I talk to the people and let them know the benefits of being a homeowner and converting them, especially if they're already in place. You know, we can get a feel of how they
Thank
like the
you.
property, if they have interest and all that stuff like that.
So board, that's also a contingency, correct? After our buyers
Yes.
in.
Yeah,
Okay.
a buyer's interview, a buyer's
In order for us
interview.
to buy, that's a contingency on our side. Yes, so you have to do that presentation.
Yeah, a buyer's interview and rent roll. You need a rent roll and tell
And
them
a
you don't want, you don't want no ledger. You don't want nothing to show. You
Right,
want you
have
want
that.
proof of payments, like a bank
Yeah,
statement. with deposits.
Raquel, I'm gonna forward you something when we're done here, and I'll send you kind of what Sabor already put together for me on a template. You
Okay.
just copy that and paste it, babe, and send it back, because Sabor said it. We gotta have that rent roll, right? We gotta have it. We gotta see it.
Yeah, that was just anybody can go online and create a ledger. You know what I mean? Yeah, shoot.
Right. And time.
But now you do not necessarily, if you're buying a vacant property, I know somebody was trying to get past previous rental information. If you're buying a vacant property and you're moving somebody in, you don't necessarily have to look at their past previous, whoever they rented from or where they lived at previously. I don't care about that. This is only for properties that we buy with tenants in place.
Yeah.
You know? Just make sure that it's out there. 'Cause I think there was a confusion there, thinking that we need to have a payment history of their past property or wherever they stayed at before.
Right.
Yeah.
And that being said, our closing period is, like I said, a 2-week period. When we go to turn this around, it's not necessarily going to be a 2-week period because it really depends on the person who's buying it and how quickly they move, because we can ask them to do something and it may take even 2 or 3 days just to get them to do that, just because they have a different timeline than we do. So
That's
just to
good
keep that in
too.
mind.
I'm glad you made me think of something, Armando. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No.
if you're going to take a person that's a current tenant in place, right? I normally take their past previous rent roll and add it into the sales price. I don't normally collect additional money. However, I know some people have collected additional money, so maybe $2,000-3,000 more to purchase the property from it as a down payment and still use their past previous rent roll. You 3 were going to have to negotiate that and see what y'all want to do on that part, since I know people are currently on a month-to-month.
So board, can you give an example of what you just said?
Yeah, so say I buy a property, a person been in there for 2 years, right?
Mhm.
I would tell them I would take their past 2 years payments. Yeah, it's probably easier for me to show you. Let me stop sharing the screen.
If I may, I normally look at it as 1 year's payments. I don't want to run over, put such a large number in there that it doesn't, it's not really as clear to them. I do a year's worth of rent payments is how I do their calculation. Then
Okay. You don't do the whole, you don't do their whole lease, whatever.
No, because they could have been there 5 years. I don't want to give that much credit.
I'm just going to use, I'm sorry,
Get out of
Nanette, I'm just going to use simple numbers. So say they've been there 2 years and they were paying, they basically paid $24K for the past 2 years into their property, right? So their sales price, I was going to make $124, right? That would be the sales price. However, because they already paid 24K into their rent, even though we're not collecting it. I would just add another 24 on top of that.
Okay.
So you would change it to 148?
Yeah, but you 148, so it'd be 148 minus their past previous rent roll. So their loan balance would actually start at 124. So
Got
on the purchase agreement, it'll look like shoot,
They
I ain't thinking my numbers right now. Give me 1 second. So on the purchase agreement, it'll be looking like this plus another 24K. So it'll be 148 on top of it. And then it'll say minus, 24 for past previous payments. That's now their note balance start at 124 at 10%.
What's the benefit of doing that instead of just saying 124 from the jump?
What's the benefit of doing that?
Yeah.
The note buyer, they want to make sure they have interest in the game. Note buyers will not, if I sell a property with no down payment and nothing like that, or no payment, they're gonna cut. You thinking they're paying 82 to 80, 92. I'm sorry, 83 to 92% on a unpaid balance, right? If they don't show no skin in the game, and you get no down payment, your loan's gonna get caught. They're gonna probably pay you 65% on that loan.
Okay.
So the whole thing is about showing the note buyer that people have emotional equity in the game.
Got it. So maybe I should show that they have a down payment.
Oh, make it look like a more seasoned note.
And it look like a more seasoned note because they've been there.
more seasoned.
And that being said, my only concern is, when we go showing that, we are showing a much higher amount, and for the area that it may be in, we may not be even near that number based on just looking at some of the numbers in Memphis.
You're talking about the comp?
Yeah, comps, because it's gonna really throw off, that sequence. I mean, yeah, I did that in St. Louis. I sold the property for 110.6, but I bought that property when I bought the property. I bought it as a 3-package property, bought it for $79,000. But that property showed as a $79,000 dollar amount for that property, even though it represented 3 properties that it shows as 1. So that probably fit a little bit closer, where if I'm up 50, 60,000 higher, they're going to start questioning, hey, well, how are you getting these numbers? And,
I don't know if they question that.
No. So this is the major thing that you have to always remember, y'all. Whatever you sell that property for, even if I buy that property for $30,000, once I sell that property, again, this is the reason. Now, a land contract is not going to allow you to see the value in that property. But what happens is when you sell a property, say I bought it for $30,000, I go around and sell it for $120,000. Once that mortgage is recorded, it automatically forces depreciation. That loan takes on that new sales price amount.
The whole area gets affected,
So that's
right?
why it's important that you record your mortgages.
So when people are going to buy the note, they're not checking the.
What was the last property y'all did, Raquel?
2746 Windsor, right?
Parkway.
Okay, there you go.
I think it says, looked at it not too long ago.
I like to show people what I'm talking about. All right, so this is what I'm talking about, the net. I hear you talking to me. So they bought this property here for
65?
62.
62.
There we go again.
they bought the property for 62, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they turn around and seller financed it for 121. This automatically, instead of this property, because before then the property was only appraised for what 30, 40,000, 50,000. It was very low on the property. But what happens is when they sell the property, it automatically forces the new appraised value.
Got it. Because there was seller financing in general.
And the mortgage was recorded.
And there's a buyer.
Yeah, as soon as you record that mortgage, it forces it up. So that's why it's okay to do the over, you know what I'm saying? To add the over. If you do the 148, just imagine now is the property going to price for 149, but their starting balance is going to be 124. There's already equity in that property for that person. And his property equity actually went down because he was at like 125, and that's pretty previously last time I checked. So I'm assuming that the neighborhood around him, somebody praised came in low, which forces it down a little bit. Yep.
Okay.
And that was last year already, y'all.
Yeah, look at that.
October 20. Yeah, right before my birthday.
Oh, no, when we bought it.
All right, it was my birthday.
Yeah, that was the sell date. That was a seller finance date, recording date for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wonderful.
anything else you need, Raquel, at this time? I know
Okay,
she will
So-
need, you will need your email addresses.
yes, please. I'm gonna put our email address in the chat. You guys can send me yours. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me type it.
So yeah, once you reach out to who's taking the lead? No, we already know who's taking the lead. Raheem and Raquel taking the lead on this one. You want to find out about the inspection. Ask them how can you get in touch with Odyssey to do an inspection.
They can set it up for you.
Mhm.
Yes, they'll
Monica.
set it up for you. They'll have Odyssey. They'll still have Odyssey send you an invoice to your email. Once you pay that invoice, to a day or two later, they'll be out there property and do a property inspection for you.
Okay.
Now, there are
Brian, you
times-
in on the deal? Brian?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is he there?
he,
Oh, he's still there.
yeah, he just sent it to you.
I'm
He
here.
just put it- no, they said, "Are you in on the deal?" He said, "Yes, he in it."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in. It's 10 I too. So that should be a quick turnaround.
That's very quick
Yeah.
turnaround.
That's what I'm saying.
That's very quick turnaround. Now,
Excited.
remember, y'all, I just had this thing a couple weeks ago. Remember, when y'all sell this property, those mortgage note buyers are putting a 2-week hold on paying you out. Even though you're closing, there's still a 2-week hold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't want nobody yelling at me. It's not me.
Wait, over that again?
I'm going to keep saying it over and over to make sure people know it's not my fault.
So go over that again.
So what's happening is because we're doing our deal so fast, and normally we don't have any seasoning on our notes, right? Because they're working exclusively with us. Normally gonna require 3 months. But what's happening is they'll put the contract, they'll sell the mortgage note. They'll buy our mortgage notes, but Madison doesn't pay out until after they close their books.
Mhm.
So normally there's a 2-week hold after we purchase a property to make sure Madison switch everything over. I think somebody just recently had the same thing. Madison still ain't, it wasn't y'all, it was another person. Madison still ain't got this thing over to them. The attorney started sending me stuff this week. I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I don't know what to say.
Saying
So,
everything.
yeah, this was a package deal that closed. Right here, I'll show it to you. I can show you better than I can tell you. So this is a package deal that sold. Everybody can see my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this package sold way back in October. No, December the 15th of last year, Sarah was reaching out saying, "Hey, my services still, we had a couple of attempts to try to transfer over these documents, right?" This was from the attorney a couple of days ago, March 20th, saying, "Hey, I'm representing this lady. She's making her payments, but her payments are not being sent to the right person or right people, blah, blah, blah." So my buyers still haven't received any of their money. The dude is still receiving it, but Madison, they don't know where the money is.
So the new.
So Zach been making Zach been making her payment for her. The guy that sold the loans are making the payment for them. So he just basically said, "I have March payment." As I mentioned, the email I would forward to you. So, what I mean, he's saying that he's receiving the payments, but the people supposed to be sending their payments still over to Madison, but Madison never saying they never receiving any of the payments.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a big mess. So that's why they did that. That's why the 2 weeks hold, Greg.
Got it.
Interesting.
With the turnaround.
Yeah, the turnaround. Also, when you set up Madison and people do make a payment, I mean, Rochelle and Raquel, that mean most people on the call, they think soon the people make the payment, they're going to get paid too. No. Service companies don't work like that. They wait till they close their books and then they pay you out. I think it's a 10-day hold after the people.
Yeah.
That's on the 10th, but on the 10th.
Yeah. It's just a time period. We just got to be patient, right?
Yeah, you have to be patient. You're going to get paid. They have the payment, but again, you just make sure you watch your servicing company. Basically.
Well, believe me, you will.
Mhm. Oh yeah, you're watching. And most of the stuff you'll see when they made the payment on the portal, but you waiting to get paid out. Again, all about closing their books. So my buyers do not want to transfer money over, even though they bought the loan from you, closed on the loan, and money sitting in escrow. Do not want Mr. Creasy to pay out that money until 2 weeks or until Madison verifies that they have actually transferred the documents, the property over to them.
Yeah, and one thing, just to reiterate, and everybody knows, but never have your buyers send you money. Send it directly to the attorney. Keep
And no
yourself out of
communication.
that mess, because it'll be nothing but a mess, and you don't want that headache.
And no communication, with that person.
Okay.
They would give you right now you're going to be communicating with them, setting up the deals and talking to them, making them feel comfortable. But once they close and they send their paperwork over to Madison, do not talk to them. They give you every sob story in the world, man, and you'll be falling for it.
Mhm. Yeah, we already got lectured by them not to get involved, by Madison, do not do. And we're like, okay, so we stay away, because we want them to do it on our behalf. They're more stern. They're going to get the money in. They have to do what they got to do
It's the
so we
big
can get
heart right
paid.
here, big
I know,
heart.
I got to stay away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the biggest thing, y'all. The biggest thing. Again, the goal in Madison, for $25, they do a lot. You know what I mean, per loan, they do a lot. So you really, only thing, like, you can pay for additional costs like door knockers, or if you need attorneys and stuff like that. They do have additional costs, but for collecting and default, going default and having a portal for you to see everything, that's a lot of money that there's a lot of stuff they do for $25.
You must be grandfathered in, because it's 30 for me.
It's 30 for us, but your grandmother is
$5.
you're special.
A whole $5, y'all. A whole $5.
Yeah. Trust me, it's a lot lower
Inflation,
than
that percentage is
management
pretty
fees.
low considering inflation.
Yeah.
Guys, it's a lot lower than management fees and having to pay repairs, and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, way much cheaper. Just imagine that it's still a rental and somebody call you for something. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
I can't think of anything. Raquel, you need anything else from us right now?
No, so I shouldn't just reply to this with all my contingencies. I should just give them a call first thing tomorrow when they open.
No,
You
send
can
me an email with your-
reply.
you can Rochelle
I'm
said
gonna send it to
she's
her
gonna
right
send
now.
the document that I sent her,
Yep.
Okay,
and you can just put that in an email, just copy and paste it into the email.
Yeah.
with your contingencies.
got
Mhm.
And feel free to call. We're up late
Yeah.
Mhm.
on the West Coast.
Yeah, they're West Coast. Yeah,
On
they're
the West Coast, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love it. I'll call you.
And
Is
she
it
can
past your bedtime?
Greg and Rochelle can definitely help you with anything that you need as far as finishing the deal up and all that stuff like that. They're doing and done multiple deals over there. We call Greg our boots on the ground. You may have to pay him a little bit of money.
No, I think there's another term.
Yeah. Oh, the
Stalker boy.
the stalker.
We call them what?
Stalker boy.
We send them our
Already-
properties. We go send them our properties and go stalk the properties out. So we call him Stalker Boy.
Yeah. I'll sit in anybody's backyard for a fee, so call me up.
Yeah, he will. I'm dead serious. He will. But no.
Why you like to deal with property management other than realtors? We were running brick walls with the other offers we were putting in realtors. It's like our offers weren't even being heard. But when I put the offer on this, it was an automatic response. So I said, that's why I see you don't like to deal with realtors and deal
Yeah, I
with.
don't like dealing with realtors. Not only that, when you deal with realtors, they're going to always ask you for proof of funds.
That's where we was running the brick wall at right there.
Yeah, because a lot of times you got to remember, realtors are just everyday average Joes that say, "Oh, I want to get into real estate." They don't really know what real estate is. You know what I mean? They got their license, but they don't really know. We do real estate. They
You do
are
sales.
Yeah, we do sales. They are
Commission. And they working
So,
for commission.
they will mess realtors will mess your whole deal up if you start buying properties to do it, especially as an investor. Realtors mess all of your deals up. So you need to make sure you go directly to your sources. Again, you have property managers that have properties. You have for sale by owner property. You don't really need to deal with MLS realtors. I mean, and a lot of time, if a property is on MLS, you can find out who the homeowner is by going to the county website, doing a little digging yourself and stuff like that. Yeah, just stay away from realtors. This is for everybody. If you're going to start finding your own properties and you're looking on MLS, try to look for seller finance properties or for sale by owner properties. Stay away from realtors. They will mess every deal that you have up.
And it's funny because I'm a broker and I don't find stuff on the MLS. I find it off of MLS.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody, yeah, exactly. You
That's
want to
for the
go,
retail.
you know, I feel,
That's for the retail people.
ever since I've
Exactly.
been doing this job, I swear I stopped dealing with real estate. I always go to property management company. Property management companies have so many out-of-state investors, especially in Memphis, and they'll give you a listing of all those properties that they have for sale. Just so happen Dean is a listing agent in that area, so he helps a lot. You know, cut down the real estate stuff.
Yeah,
That's
a great source.
Great
Mhm,
source,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, great source. And I like the way he does his videos. I don't know if anybody ever watched his videos.
We
Oh,
watch his videos.
regularly.
We love his videos.
Yeah, he gives a podcast video on the areas of those zip codes that you're buying. If you're receiving his listings, if you ever watch him, or
Caught a couple of them myself. Yeah, he goes into depth, like what zip codes to
It does.
stay from, as well as what ones are the ones you can look into or pay attention to.
Mhm,
what's
mhm.
his name?
Dean,
Dean,
Harris.
Dean Cresport.
yeah.
Dean at Cresport.
His name is Dean Harris, but the company that we're using is Crestport.
Yeah.
Cresport.
Yeah, Crestport Realty. We basically sign up to get receive his daily.
Daily,
Killing.
daily.
They be blowing my inbox up. Once you sign up for them, though, they will send you properties. They'll ask you like what's your buying criteria, and they'll start sending you properties. So let me
Yeah.
and they move for you. Yeah, they handle
they-
stuff quick.
yeah, they do. So like he'll send like this is my favorite zip code, everybody know 38172. My zip code.
Yes.
So
127.
That's beautiful.
yeah, so
Yeah,
he'll
we put
send,
an offer on that one. That was sold. Did you buy
yeah,
that one?
but he'll send you all the properties of all the stuff that's down in the
Oh,
area.
that's 134.
The list must have been
Yeah.
properties.
Huh?
The list that he sent me, might have been like 10, 15 properties on that list. I just started looking them up.
He said, yeah, they'll blow my email. They'll blow my email up. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, like this is all properties from him, right? Literally. You know what I mean? But it's good though because we get to wean through and see which properties we like.
Some
of the
are off
properties
market.
aren't
Some are
vacant.
off market. Right.
Yeah, some of them off market. It'll tell you off market. It'll tell you if it's cash flowing and it has like this one says cash flowing, it has a tenant in place.
Right.
And it's paying $950 a month. Tell you what the estimated rehab cost is, tell you what the square foot, how many beds you have, square footage, and also down here, like I was saying, that he have links.
Sabor, we
podcast.
can't see anymore.
Oh shoot, sorry, I'm up here just talking. So I'm sorry. So like this one right here, the it's 950 a month. It show you the estimated rehab cost, staff, square footage, and then down here he has links to like
Yeah,
rental
I like the
properties.
links.
Yeah, so these are links. They look like squares, but if you click on them, they will open up new tabs for you to view listings and stuff
And
like
his
that.
numbers are good. You trust his numbers all the time, like his repair numbers and all that.
Oh heck no!
No.
They're gonna deflate the heck out of
I
it.
expected you to say yes. That's so funny.
I mean,
Rent numbers are a little bit off too, but you know what? They're close. They're not.
yeah. Their rent numbers are off, and all that stuff like that. We don't really pay attention to the additional rehab cost because we're going to get a home inspection anyways. You know,
Got it.
again, we're only looking for the interior stuff. We're not too much worried about the exterior on a property that has a tenant in place. Now, if it's a vacant property, yes, we're looking at both interior and exterior inspection type stuff. Because you don't want to buy a vacant property and you come back, you need a roof and you can't even get insurance because the insurance company will pick it up because of the roof.
Right.
So, but anyways, that's it though. I'm about to go lay in the bed now. I'm in Jersey. We're in the hotel room for a whole week. Yeah, when Raheem called me yesterday, I was driving. So I was like, I'm sorry, bro, I missed your call.
So just
All right.
wanted to do a report real quick before we go. Renee helped me last week and I went from like 16,000 credit to 52,000. So and that was
Whoa.
Congratulations. That's
that
excellent.
was one day. So that's what Sabor was talking about. He was like, I'm sorry. He's tooting my horn.
Yeah, man. She told us on the group last week. We're very proud of you, man. It's amazing, man, to come in. I'm glad you seen that the program working for you.
Absolutely.
I hope the program working for everybody, man. I know we have a lot of people that's fall off. But you know, we, like Brian always said, we are few, but we are very mighty, you know.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you would, I know you love it, Armando. You know, your number is up there. We trying to get your numbers now. We all want your numbers now. But
They over there.
yeah, you know, he actually I don't know if everybody heard, Armando is actually seller financing a deal, a car. So you know, again, we have more than we have more
94.50.
opportunities. Yeah. So we have more options than just real estate. You remember, we can seller finance anything.
Joy.
Yeah.
Joy.
I didn't want to get rid of it.
The boy, you're gonna
Right.
come home and she's gonna have seller finance one of your dogs.
She's trying to sell a finance
Ah, wait
me
a
right
minute.
now. She's trying to sell a finance
is
me. Take them.
hilarious.
Nope,
She said
nope.
$2 down, $2 down, and $2 a month.
You can be like, maybe somebody. My seller finance.
She said, take them, take them, take them.
Cujo will be gone.
Trying to get rid of me right now. She said
Uh-oh.
$2 down, $2 a month for 30 years. Take them.
There'll be a bidding.
They
war
don't even live that long.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
What if we miss a payment?
I know, right? She ain't taking it back. She said no take backs. You know what he said, no take backs.
I think that has to be a 15-year deal or a 10-year deal.
She said no take backs.
Right.
Love it.
So
Great.
Raquel, I
Grab-
just sent you the email, okay? Be on the lookout.
I got it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, no problem,
feel free
honey.
to call any questions.
Congratulations,
Yeah, she has a lot of,
everyone.
and she has a lot of the templates and all that stuff like that that I've sent her over the past. So anything you need, she definitely can be. If you can't get in touch with me, she'll be your point of contact to help you walk through the deals. And of course, she can
Yep.
share her experiences, and Greg can share experiences with the Memphis market.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're excited.
No problem, man. And congratulations on the new deal. I will talk to y'all
Yeah.
next week. All right.
All right.
Next
good
week.
night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Good night.